Hello, everybody. I know it's been a bit. Anyway, Merry Christmas. As you can see, the trees behind me here, but I just got my best. Well, actually, I got two great Christmas presents. Number one, my then youngest grandson, Maverick, had been born with two holes in his heart and needed. They thought they would heal on their own, and they didn't. So he required some surgery. He went through the surgery just fine. Came out with a kind of a matter of fact attitude towards it, like, oh well, had to deal with this, so we got it over. It's done. Anyway, then my daughter, Destiny, was due on January 17th, and they decided to induce her the day after Christmas on Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and up in the Portland area. And my ex-wife was up there with her, went up to, and her half-sister went up to be there with her. Anyway, it took all night, and nothing was happening. So this morning, they decided that, actually, this afternoon, they decided they would do a C-section because the baby's heartbeat was getting a little weaker. So we got to welcome in Caleb, which is my newest grandson, to this world. And he's a little light on heft right now because he's 3 weeks early and he's only 5 pounds, several ounces. So, but he's going to make it just fine. Everybody's healthy, and which is a blessing. And what I want to talk to you about is the gratitude that comes as you age and begin to look at things a little differently in this life. In my teens and 20s, it was all about me. And I lived my life exactly that way. I was involved in drugs. My priorities were partying, money, and being recognized for me and what I could do. And as life began to process, and as I began to age and my priorities began to change, it became more about the people that God's put in my life and put around me to share my time with, to share whatever I have available to share with them. And in doing so, life's become a lot sweeter. And I used to think that 50 and beyond was just ancient. And then I got there, and I found out it wasn't a bad place to be at in the first place. So, and I remember I was living in LA at one time, and somehow I had this idea that once you hit 50, that everything just went downhill and went to hell. And I remember I had a landlord that asked me to help him on a job one day. He was 86 years old, and it was a tree job he had to do. And when he asked me, I said, sure, I'll help you out. And I'm assuming, because of his age, that I'm going to do all the climbing, I'm going to run the chainsaws, and he might feed the chipper, the hopper. And I was good with that. I was ready to do it. Then we got to the job, and this 86-year-old man scurried up the tree, did all the cutting, and made me look foolish. I was the one feeding the chipper. And something began to dawn on me there. Well, I had an inkling before that. I had a brother-in-law who was a house mover and lived on a ranch and worked it daily. And I remember working a summer with him and his brother who helped him move houses. And I was a pretty stout young lad. In fact, I spent a time as doing some collections for some dealers when I was young because I could get it done. Anyway, they had a 30-pound sledgehammer they were using to punch out a foundation to run some steel underneath it on some school buildings they were going to have to move. And so I was going to show these old farts up. So I grabbed that hammer, and boy, I was just going to wear that thing out. And what it did is it wore me out. after about 20 swings with that thing, my energy was in the toilet, and these old men grabbed that hammer from me and showed me how to use it. And they went all day long, just steady Eddie, bam, 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 bam. And I came out of that little scenario there realizing that I wasn't how I thought I was at the time, and they might have been a little bit more than I had given them credit for. Now, as I've aged, I began to realize some of this, that's actually the case. At 52 years old, due to the passing of a friend's son who played on a semi-pro football team here locally in my area, I decided he played one of the positions I'd played in high school, so I was going to give it a shot. So at 52 years old, I joined the semi-pro football team, and I didn't play every game or all game long, but I had fun doing it. And my body kept surprising me as I went along. I could go through all the practices, the workouts, and all that. And it shocked me, all right? But I'd seen examples in my life already of men who had done that, and the realization that this thing doesn't end at a certain date or timeline or calendar, setting. That it's just an open door that you walk through, and it's your mindset, it's your heart condition that determines a lot of what's going to happen in your life. Now, to imagine that at 63 years old, my life would be as rich in areas as it is, I would never have thought it. And I look around me now, and Caleb, the newborn, is the 7th grandchild by birth. And there's 2 more that I call by osmosis because they were fostered and adopted, or at least one was and one will be. And the richness of that, in the Bible it says that children are a blessing, and blessed is the man whose quiver is full. Well, I'm sitting here with a full quiver, very happy about it, and telling you that if you haven't changed your priorities as you progress in life and as you age, you need to do it. Because the benefits that come from it, by just realizing the value of the people around you that God's put in your life, is so fulfilling. I mean, it's something you can never imagine. You've heard other people talk about it, and you go, oh yeah, that's nice, whatever. But you never completely realize it until you find yourself in the middle of it. So if I can give you anything this season, it would be that. There is a reason for the season. All right, it was the greatest gift ever given. But if you learn to appreciate what's around you and what He's placed in your life, you're going to find things beginning to flip for you. And it's mainly your perspective on your day, your life, and the people involved in that. And I don't know how much more I can stress this to you without becoming redundant. So appreciate those that you see in front of your face that belong to you either by blood, by friendship, or association. Just reach out, let them know you give a rip about them, that you care, and watch that response as it comes back your way. You will be amazed, you will be fulfilled, and you will be absolutely thrilled by the results. So, until we meet again, be blessed, have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.